I always believed Marcus and I had the perfect marriage. We were high school sweethearts, the couple everyone envied. We built a life together, brick by brick, filled with laughter, dreams, and what I thought was unwavering trust. 10 years of marriage, 2 beautiful children, a lovely home in the suburbs. It was everything I'd ever wanted. But perfection is often an illusion, a fragile veneer hiding a dark, rotting core. And my illusion was about to be shattered in the most public and humiliating way imaginable. It all started subtly. The late nights at the office became more frequent. The business trips stretched longer. He was more distant, glued to his phone, a faint, secretive smile playing on his lips as he texted. When I'd ask who he was talking to, he'd always say it was just work. A new project, a demanding client. I wanted to believe him. I really did. Doubting Marcus felt like doubting the sun would rise. It was unthinkable. But a seed of suspicion had been planted, and it was starting to grow, its thorny vines wrapping around my heart. My best friend Sarah saw the signs before I did. "Renee, are you sure everything's okay with Marcus?" She'd ask, her voice laced with concern. "He just seems different." I'd brush her off, defending him, making excuses. I was a fool, a blind, trusting fool. I didn't want to see the truth because seeing it meant my perfect world would crumble. So I lived in denial, convincing myself that the stress of his demanding job was the real culprit. The day it all blew up was our 10th wedding anniversary. I had planned a surprise party for Marcus. I invited all our friends and family, everyone who had watched our love story unfold. I spent weeks planning every detail, from the catering to the decorations. Our backyard was transformed into a fairy tale setting, with twinkling lights and flowers everywhere. I was so excited, so full of love and hope. I thought this party would be a reminder of our bond, a way to reconnect and bring back the spark we seemed to be losing. Oh, how wrong I was. Marcus was supposed to be home by 6. He had called earlier, saying a last-minute meeting had come up, but he promised he wouldn't be late. 6 o'clock came and went, then 7. Our guests had arrived, the music was playing, but the man of the hour was missing. I kept calling his phone, but it went straight to voicemail. Panic started to set in. I plastered a smile on my face, assuring everyone that he was probably stuck in traffic, that he'd be here any minute. At around 7:30, my phone buzzed. It was a message from an unknown number. My heart hammered against my ribs as I opened it. It was a photo. A photo of Marcus, not in a boardroom, but in a dimly lit hotel room. He was shirtless, and he was kissing another woman. She had long blonde hair and was looking at the camera with a triumphant smirk. The background was unmistakable. It was the boudoir suite at the Grand Hotel downtown, the one we'd stayed in for our honeymoon. The world stopped. The music, the laughter, the chatter of our friends, it all faded into a dull roar. I couldn't breathe. It felt like a physical blow, knocking the air from my lungs. My hands trembled so violently I almost dropped the phone. The woman in the photo, I recognized her. It was his new assistant, Chloe, the one he couldn't stop talking about, praising her efficiency and dedication. The one I had met once at a company dinner and felt an instant, inexplicable dislike for. Another message came through. "Happy anniversary! Looks like he's celebrating with me tonight. He says you're boring. Enjoy your party." The cruelty of it was breathtaking. It was a calculated, vicious attack designed to inflict the maximum amount of pain. And it worked. I felt my knees buckle. Sarah rushed to my side, her face a mask of concern. "Renee, what's wrong? You're white as a ghost." I couldn't speak. I just showed her the phone. Her eyes widened in shock, then narrowed in fury. "That monster," she whispered. "I'm going to kill him." She took the phone from my shaking hands, her protective instincts kicking in. But the damage was done. The secret was out, and it was screaming in my face. Just then, Marcus walked in. He strode into the backyard with a bouquet of roses, a charming, apologetic smile on his face. "Sorry I'm late, honey. The meeting ran over, but I'm here now," he announced, his voice booming. He looked around at the silent, staring faces of our friends and family. The festive atmosphere had evaporated, replaced by a thick, suffocating tension. What's going on? Why does everyone look like they've seen a ghost? He looked at me, his smile faltering as he saw the tears streaming down my face. Renee, baby, what is it? That's when I snapped. The shock and grief morphed into a white-hot rage. You want to know what's wrong, Marcus? I screamed, my voice raw with anguish. This is what's wrong. Sarah, bless her soul, had already connected my phone to the large projector I had set up to display a slideshow of our 10 years together. Instead of our happy memories, the giant screen was now displaying the photo from the hotel room for everyone to see. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. The photo of Marcus and Chloe, locked in their sordid embrace, was projected 10 feet high across the back of our house. His betrayal, lit up for the world to witness. Marcus's face went from confusion to horror. The color drained from his skin, and the roses fell from his limp hand. He was speechless, caught, exposed in the most brutal way possible. He looked from the screen to me, his mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. There were no more lies, no more excuses he could possibly invent. The evidence was irrefutable, projected for all our loved ones to see. His parents stared at him with disbelief and shame. My parents looked at me with heartbreaking pity. Our friends didn't know where to look. The silence was deafening, broken only by my ragged sobs. How could you? I whispered, the words barely audible. On our anniversary? In front of everyone who loves us? He finally found his voice, but it was just a pathetic stammer. Renee, it's not, I can explain. Explain? I laughed, a bitter broken sound. Explain what, Marcus? Explain how you've been lying to me. Explain how you took our sacred vows and trampled them into the dirt? There's nothing to explain. I see everything clearly now. I turned to our guests, my voice shaking but firm. I'm sorry, everyone. It seems the party's over. And so is my marriage. The crowd began to disperse quietly, offering me looks of sympathy and patting my shoulder as they left. They couldn't get out of there fast enough, fleeing the train wreck of my life. That night was the worst night of my life, but it was also the most liberating. The perfect marriage was a lie, but the pain was real. And from the ashes of that humiliation, I knew I had to rebuild. It wouldn't be easy. There would be tears, anger, and a long, hard road to healing. But for the first time in months, I wasn't living in denial. I was facing the ugly, painful truth. And in that truth, I found a flicker of strength I never knew I had. The party was over, but my new life was just beginning. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, know that you are not alone and you are stronger than you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.